My question is a little bit more about the economic development and the ratios of our tax base, residential to business. In certain parts of the state, we have, different costs of living and our taxes, and oftentimes we discuss the multi-level approach to ensuring that those areas, are financially able to be lived in comfortably, and we have a good job opportunities. And there are certain areas that I see there's 80% residential, 20% business. From your professional opinion, what is really a healthy ratio? Can you give sort of a healthy ratio as far as that's concerned? And with that, with the dollars that DCED receives and the work that's being done to focus, do we put stronger efforts into those areas where we see a ratio that is not as healthy as it should be to create a healthy tax balance?
That is a great question. And I think I got to imagine every legislature in the United States deals with that same thing. I don't know what the right answer is. I don't know that there is a right answer. I think every place is different, and they have to look at it differently. We get hammered sometimes because I hear that Texas doesn't have a personal income tax. Well, hooray! Texas doesn't have a personal income tax, but they have property taxes that would kill you, that make it so difficult to live there. That doesn't get talked about. But so things have to be paid for one way or another. And whether it's through property taxes, whether it's through personal income tax, whether it's through business taxes, I'm not sure what the healthy mix is. I think it depends upon what we're seeing in other states. It depends upon where we are right now compared to other states, but where we are compared to where we think we should be. The corporate income tax at 9.99%, we can't be there anymore. We're at the point now where that checks us off a list right away when companies are thinking about coming to Pennsylvania. And some companies that might be headquartered in Pennsylvania and have an opportunity to expand their employment, they look at that and they think, their board of directors, they're not from Pennsylvania, and they could go anywhere they want, not only in the country but the world. So there are things like that we have to reduce. We have to make sure that we're in good shape. Our personal income tax is in a place we think that is pretty good. But you're asking a question about all these different municipalities and cities and things like that, and we have. Where's Rick? I think it's 2,560 municipalities. So it is. I'm sorry I can't answer your question, but that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Every place is different.
No, and I agree with you, and I understand you. We talk about this all the time, the importance of local government and the importance of them understanding the balance between all different aspects of our state. But there's a big concern that I'm always looking at as far as, again, the employment and reducing our commuters and making sure that we have a healthy place to live as far as not being overtaxed on one section of the state and another section being, a very low school tax or whatever it may be. For us, it is a school tax. But the issue of the grants and the support and the bends, everything that comes into play from DCED, it's hard, like you said, working with the local governments, but the true focus to say this area of the state is really, really failing in economic development. And, in another area might be doing much better. But are we really looking at that much stronger and saying, although we have these outside sources of our local government and our Commonwealth, what are we doing to kind of really hone in and say 20% is definitely not enough business?
Right.
I mean, that is definitely a number that is not enough.
Absolutely, but I think it depends on what the advantages of that particular area are. Yeah. And I'm a big proponent of all these communities every community throughout Pennsylvania, all 67 counties. They all have their advantages. They all have something that can attract people to want to be there, and they all have something that can attract businesses to want to be there, different types of businesses, So that's one of the issues that we see with some of the overarching programs that are like the Community Revitalization Improvement Zone. our city revitalization improvement zone, things like that that are kind of take an area and provide tax credits anybody that comes into the area for that. We're not sure that that's the right way to look at things. I think everything needs to look at, and it also depends upon that particular area, whether they want that or whether they don't want that.
Exactly.
And the communities that come together, so the mayors and the county commissioners and the state reps, the state senators that come to us and say, this is what we need for our those are the ones that really have something going for them, I think.
Right.
That we can work with and we can provide resources to. So it's a great discussion, I think, to have, and I think it warrants a lot longer discussion, certainly than we're getting here. But it's something that is it's not easily answered.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you. I think this definitely is a reminder for people of all the levels of leadership and how important it is in their community, from the state to the local level, and how it's a partnership. So thank you very much.
Thank you.